was in the New York Times last week, plus lots of other reporting in other places. And let's just say this, lots of Ozy was real. I just want to say that out loud, which is to say, the newsletters exist, the festival exists, the advertising exists, you've won an Emmy, that exists. But I think there's other questions about whether the numbers were inflated. We heard about this phone call between your co-founder and Goldman Sachs, apparently impersonating somebody from YouTube. We've talked about the advertising that suggested, that said one thing, but the quotes didn't necessarily come from where they said they were coming from. I think we need to just try, to the extent that you can clear the air or explain it.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Sure.
Let's start with this phone call, though, because that's what sort of set this whole thing off. Your co-founder had a phone call with Goldman Sachs as you were trying to raise money and effectively took them off of a Zoom and then apparently started to impersonate with a fake email address as well, somebody from YouTube. What happened?
I don't know. I wasn't there. But I do know that I got a call from the YouTube folks after it, saying something strange had happened, and we figured out what happened. I immediately called back to the folks at Goldman right away, not 4 days later, as I think someone wrote at one point. And look, it's heartbreaking. It was wrong. It's not good. It's not okay. I love Goldman. I work there. I've got a lot of friends there. To this day, several months afterwards, I'm grateful to them that, we formed a new advertising partnership. And so, hopefully there was some sense of trust regained. But there's no doubt about it that was not okay. And that fractured a lot of trust, not just there, but obviously you saw what happened in a very tumultuous week last week.
But part of what was happening in that instance, from what I understand, is you had represented, and the company had represented, at one point that your show was going to appear originally on A&E, by the way, represented to me because I appeared on your show. And when I first got that email from the producer, it said this show was going to be on A&E with 95 million households. And I remember sitting down actually when I was about to do your show, and I said to the producer in the ear, I said, by the way, when does this air? Thinking it airs on A&E. And she said something like, well, we're really leaning in hard to online media. This is actually a YouTube original. But what it now appears like is actually it wasn't a YouTube original either. And in fact, that was somewhat of what the discussion or the issue was with Goldman Sachs, that you were uploading these videos to YouTube, but a YouTube original is something where you say they've effectively commissioned the program.
So lots of miscommunication in that, but I want to clarify that one because I think that was definitely one where we lost a lot of trust. We originally conceived the show with A&E. You've seen the announcements that we have a partnership with them, a multi-year partnership. We've done shows on A&E, on their sister network, History Channel, on Lifetime Channel, did good things. And originally during the summer, the conversation was with them. We created a sizzle reel together. We talked about which guests and things like that. And as the summer moved on, we realized that they were on a different timetable than we were, and so we shifted to YouTube. Now, in the back of our mind, we thought there still could be an opportunity for us to come back to them, but we clearly shifted to YouTube. I know that for you and for a number of other people, you got emails on that. That was wrong. I don't know whether that was a mistake or whether that was intentional, but whatever it is, that was wrong.
But the executive producer that you hired believed that he was making a show for A&E, and in fact, suggested on the record in the New York Times this week, or last week, that the show, that every time he was told that he wanted to call someone at A&E, he was told effectively not to.
I don't know about that, but I have to say this. I made a really bad decision last week, and I didn't respond to your text. I didn't respond to texts of lots of other people I know, and I wish I had engaged with the media, had good conversations, because I felt like after that piece, it was kind of like open season for people to throw whatever crazy half-truth and put it out there. Now, to be really clear, some of the things that came out last week were mistakes that we made. I know that we'll talk about those too, but that's a good example of one that I think that's true. That same producer you're talking about is the same producer who's texted me multiple times since then with multiple exclamation points saying, congratulations on the show bringing Matt Damon on. Congratulations on the show now appearing on Amazon Prime. So, look, there's no doubt about it that last summer, as the show started, we originally hoped that we were going to do it with A&E, and it ended up shifting to YouTube. And I am sure that we did not communicate that well, and I own that, and that's our mistake.
Some carriers give you so little for your older busted phone. not Verizon. You dunk it, crash it, doggy bone it. We upgrade it.
Get a 5G phone on us when you trade in your old phone. Plus, get $500 when you join.
Because everyone deserves better.
Why did they abandon the company if things are as good as you say they are? Mark Lazary, by the way, defended you initially, said that he